Hi there, Malcolm here with my 52nd Booktube video, and today I'll be bringing you December's TBR pile, in which I hope to do better than the 5 books I read last month. So here goes. First up is the book of the month, Aurora Rising by Alistair Reynolds. This is book 1 of the Prefect Dreyfus series. Well, I say series, there's only 2 of them at the moment, but there may be more. I picked this one up because I read Revenger last year and absolutely loved it. And so I was very eager to try something else by the same author. I was also very excited to discover that book 2 of Revenger is actually coming out in January, so yay. Anyway, this book. Prefect Dreyfus is a pseudo-policeman for what is known as the Glitter Band, which is a vast swirl of space habitats that orbit a planet called Yellowstone. I'm getting certain Valerian vibes here. Anyway, this is a police procedural. A bad thing happens, and it's up to him and his team to investigate who did it and why, and presumably bring them to justice. 38 pages in already, looking good so far, but it's 502 pages in length, so I've got a little way to go yet. However, I am confident I will read it, and when I do, I'll be moving on to finishing The Curse of Salamander Street by G.P. Taylor. This is a direct follow-on to Shadowmancer and Wormwood, as the heroes from Shadowmancer and villains travel to London, where presumably stuff happens. Admittedly, right now I can't quite remember what's been going on this, but I'm sure it will come back to me when I start reading it again. And when I finish this, I will then move on to the Mammoth Book of Apocalyptic Sci-Fi, another hefty book of exactly 500 pages. This is a series of short stories, all using the post-apocalyptic setting. I like a good book of short stories. I hope I'm holding one. Provided I do get through that, I'll be then reading Star Wars The Clone Wars Wild Space by Karen Miller. And this is based on the TV series The Clone Wars with Anakin Skywalker, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Ahsoka, General Grievous, and many others. So I'll see what that's like. And after the graphic novels, if you paid attention to my video for last month, they're exactly the same because I've not read any. So I'm still reading book 2 of a long time ago, Dark Encounters. I think I've read about 3 pages since I've last waved this at you. This is a collection of the original Marvel comics back in the late 70s following the first film. So the artwork's a bit dated and some of the Star Wars ideas is a little bit out to think of what we know now, and certainly Luke and Leia are a lot more into each other because they don't know the truth yet. However, despite its age, it's still really enjoyable. I've just been too tired to do reading at that time of night. And if I do finish this, which I'm aiming to do, I do want to do it, I'll then move on to book 4 of the series, because annoyingly I haven't got book 3, Wookiee World. More of the same, except this time it's after The Empire Strikes Back, because there's Lando. He's even on the back cover. Plus Leia's changed out of her white gown. Must have been smelling after a while. And then finally, Boba Fett, Man on a Mission, which claims to have 4 of the most dangerous missions of his career, but more likely 4 scenes of him Terminatoring up the place. And what's wrong with that? So the books I'll be reading to other people in the household. I fully expect to be finishing off Johnny and the Dead, book 2 of the Johnny Maxwell series by Terry Pratchett. This I'm reading to my younger son. I finished reading Only You Can Save Mankind last month. He absolutely loved it, so we're reading this one now. Johnny has a new mission, and that is to save the local graveyard from being developed, because the dead people in it don't want that to happen. Only he can see them, but he's not going to let that stop him. More great insights into people and how people think and why they do the crazy things they do, even if they seem ordinary, because they're always extraordinary. Utterly charming. I'd say less heavy hitting than the first book, but still a really good insight into life. My older son is enjoying the Willard Price adventures. This is Volcano Adventure, one of the few books of the series I have not read, so this is all new to me as well. The brothers Hal and Roger are giving up their animal collecting ways for the time being and are exploring volcanoes with the scientist, who keeps freezing at inopportune moments. Whether it's some sort of psychoses or fear, or he's got epilepsy, yet to be determined, but I'm sure it's going to come up at some point and be relevant. Lots of really descriptive stuff from an author who has actually stood there and been there and done that. And to my wife, I am reading The Ember Blade by Chris Wooding. An epic fantasy at 824 pages. It's also bloody heavy, so I'll get a move on here. Aaron and Kay's people have been invaded and conquered by the Crodans decades ago, and that's all they've known when they've grown up. However, the mythical Ember Blade has been brought back into the country to cement some Crodan wedding, and through a series of events, Cade and Aaron find themselves caught up in a troop to go and steal that blade. Feels a lot like The Lord of the Rings in places, but updated for the modern reader. We're really enjoying it and desperately trying to get through it. We're very nearly halfway. It's not possible we're going to finish it this month. We shall have to see. So 9 books there. Will I do it? I don't know. Possibly not. Maybe. Perhaps. We shall see. Come back next year to find out. There you go. I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. Nice to remind myself what I've got to try and do this month. If you too have a TBR and you'd like to share it with me, then please leave a link or a list in the comment section down below. Alternatively, if you have any questions or comments on any of the books that I've just shown you, Have you read them? Are you interested in reading them? What did you think of them? And I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below, but please, no spoilers, and if you have nothing nice to say, then please keep it to yourself. Thank you. And if you're short of ideas of what to get that special somebody for Christmas, or yourself, then might I recommend Flavours, a short story compilation by me. 9 short stories from the farcical to the horrific, and hopefully a little bit of something in there for somebody to enjoy somewhere. Until next time, see you later.